In an undemocratic heist, the FCC voted 3-2 to remove Title II net neutrality restrictions, essentially working against the favor of the American people and screwing us. So what do we do now? What indeed?
Run away.
Well, I mean, right
now. Move to Europe.
Right now, what we do is we call our congressperson and tell them specifically, we want net neutrality, and if you don't do it, we're gonna vote you out of office. Because what's been driving me crazy about this is that 3 people shouldn't get to decide what over 300 million people have for their freedom of information, for their having agnostic data, for having something that is essentially a necessity in life to not be controlled by lobbies and ISPs and telecoms. It's insane to me how in favor this is of corporations over the will of the people and how the constituents aren't being served.
We've become a real life monopoly board. Yeah. And I don't want to pass go.
Well, it's anymore. It shouldn't be so heavily in corporations' favor, especially when it's been made clear 83% of Americans want net neutrality, and that includes 70% of Republicans, so you can't say this is a blue and red issue. This is something that Americans want unequivocally. But we have Ajit Pai, who was appointed as FCC chairperson by Donald Trump, who is a former Verizon lawyer, and clearly in their, he drives me insane personally, just because first of all, he sucks at being a comedian and he won't stop trying to do it. And 2, he doesn't understand, or maybe he does, what a puppet he is, what a Manchurian candidate he is for Verizon and the telecoms. It drives me insane. I cannot stand this man. Right now we have what is a map available online from Mapbox that shows you which ISPs you can choose from in a very specific area. So this is a neighborhood. Oh, Andrew, I hope you didn't put my neighborhood up here.
I can see my house from here.
I'm just
I don't have a house.
So each neighborhood, as you can see, even blocks can differ. One block can be having 5+, and the one next to it can have just 1.
And that's insane to me. And you know, where I live, I only have one option. Like I can't choose what company I want to use. And if I have, like, say my phone is with a certain company that I'm like, oh, I want to do a package deal, but now I'm not able to because I can only choose from the one company that's in my area. But my neighbor across the street can pick from a completely different company because their 1 block radius has now opened up to like 3 different other companies.
So ISPs have us by the balls, basically.
I don't even have any balls, and they have mine.
The metaphorical balls.
They took my balls.
If you think that the change that the FCC put through, or the vote rather, and if Congress does vote to put the dismantling of net neutrality and internet freedom through, the corporations aren't going to work for you. I don't know why we're supposed to believe that they're going to work in our best interest. They have had 0 incentive to improve speeds and coverage over the years. Do you think that'll change now? Hell no, it won't change, except now it'll be more expensive, it'll be throttled, it'll be sectioned off. We won't be treating data as a completely neutral item. It's like, do you want this? Do you want that? If you don't believe me, please check out the other countries that don't have net neutrality restrictions. Right now, over 70% of Americans are lacking high-speed internet access, or can only get it through one provider. That includes Bonnie. So this is not a legislative move that works in the spirit of competition or even capitalism. This is a completely, I cannot fathom how people can support something so undemocratic and so completely against the interest of the people.
What's frustrating is that most of the country doesn't even know this is happening right now. Like, you know, I'm not saying most of the country, a lot of people do, but there's quite a few people, like, you know, talking with my family back in Louisiana, and I was on the phone and mentioned net neutrality, and they were looking at me like I was crazy, like, what's that? And I'm like, have you been watching the news? Like, my grandmother's like, well, I have internet. I'm like,
you'll
no.
soon see.
Yeah, you'll find out soon enough. So, hashtag give us back our balls.
So, audience, now that net neutrality is dead, this is what you have to choose from, and it is pretty grim. What are your thoughts on this? Don't tweet us. Tweet Ajit Pai. Tweet the FCC. Tweet everything. Use hashtag net neutrality to show what your thoughts are on the situation. Are you struggling with what to get your friends and enemies this holiday season? Look no further, because TYT for the first time is offering 3-month holiday memberships for only $25. You would get access to all of TYT clips, episodes, podcasts, downloads, extras. For this offer, please go to tytnetwork.com/gift and keep the lights on. I'm scared of the dark.